Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I would like to share the knowledge about Trypnosoma. My name is Sarfrazur Rahman. I am a PhD scholar in the Department of Parasitology. I would like to share the knowledge with references these books Veterinary Parasitology 2nd edition by G.M. Urquhart, Veterinary Parasitology 4th edition by M.A. Taylor, George's Parasitology for Veterinarians 10th edition by D. White, D. Bowman, and last one is the internet sources. Please subscribe my channel and also push the button of bell icon. Class Mastigophora. This class Mastigophora has mostly the important 6 genera and Mastigophora. This one is the Trypnosoma, Leishmania, Trichomonas, Histomonas, Hexameta, and Giardia. Trypanosoma. Today I would like to tell about the trypanosoma. The trypanosoma is derived from the Greek word trypanon, mean borer, and soma mean the body. So these are the zooflagellates that live as parasites in the blood of humans and vertebrates. It is usually transmitted by an insect bite and it causes serious diseases like sleeping sickness or Chaga disease. The disease is usually it is called the trypanosomiasis and commonly named the Sora or Peta. Method of transmission. There are three methods of transmission. One is the cyclic transmission, the transmission in the animals. These are the two methods like the salivarian groups and the other is the stercorarian groups. The second one is the non-cyclic transmission, that is the mechanical transmission. And third one is the venereal transmission, and this is the direct contact transmission. The cyclic transmission. In cyclic transmission, you see that the intermediate host is the arthropods. The trypanosomes multiplies and series of morphological transmission occur in the arthropods, and two types of trypanosomes group, the salivarian and stercorarian. In the salivarian, the mostly develops in the insects and interior gut. After that, transfer in the host. And the interior station development. This is the term, and it is usually when the trypanosome multiplication occurs in the digestive tract or proboscis. That is called the interior station development. And example of the salivarian groups is the Trypanosoma congruens, Trypanosoma vivax, Trypanosoma brucei. The cyclic transmission and the other group is the stercoraria. These cause the infections in the insects. You may say that insects parasite. You can also say that these stercorarium are also called the insects parasite. And another term is the posterior station development. The multiplication and transformation of trypanosoma occur in the gut and infective form migrate to the rectum and passed with feces. And relatively it is non-pathogenic, and this term is the posterior station development. Examples of the stercorarian, the Trypanosoma thilieri, transmitted by tabanid flies and sheep's cats, and Trypanosoma malophagium, transmitted by tabanid flies and sheep's cats, and Trypanosoma cruzi. It is very important. It is transmitted in the feces of rhinoid bugs. The scientific name, the Rhodinus prolixus. The diseases, these two diseases are famous. The Trypanosoma brucei and causes the sleeping sickness. Another name is that the African trypanosomiasis, while another, the Trypanosoma cruzi, causes Chaga disease, and another name is the American trypanosomiasis. So it is clear that the African trypanosomiasis is the sleeping sickness and American trypanosomiasis is the Chaga disease. So non-cyclic transmission, in which it is also called the mechanical transmission. The trypanosomes are transferred from one mammalian host to another by interrupted the feeding of biting insect, notably the tabanid or stomachses. The cyclic transmission, I already told you that these are the two main groups in the cyclic transmission, the salivarian and trypanosoma in males and stercoraria, also the trypanosoma in man. So now I would like to comprehensively detailed as the Salivaria group. This Salivaria group, the trypanosomiasis causes a serious problem in the cattle. It is called the Nagana disease, and these are the three species: the Trypanosoma congolens, Trypanosoma vivax, Trypanosoma brucei. The clinical signs, the main clinical signs are the lymphadenopathy and anemia. Host all domestic livestock. In the salivarian group, the intermediate host are the Glossina species, the Glossina marcitans, and cite all the species in the bloodstream. They are get the feeding from bloodstream. Trypanosoma brucei is also found in extravascular tissues, myocardium, central nervous system, reproductive tract. Minor species Trypanosoma simiei. This parasite of the pigs and camel. Distribution: 10 million square kilometers of the sub-Saharan. Identification: spindle-shaped protozoa, 8 to 39 micrometer, and it has long flagellum. The identification of the different species, like the Trypanosoma brucei, it is pleomorphic, long and cylinder, less than 39 micrometer, short and stumpy form, less than 18 micrometer, undulating membrane is conspicuous, single centrally placed nucleus, kinetoplast small and subterminal. While in case of the Trypanosoma congolens, it is monomorphic, 8 to 18 micrometer diameter, and undulating membrane is unconspicuous, medium-sized, kinetoplast is marginal, and no free flagellum. Third one is the Trypanosoma vivax. It is monomorphic and it is 20 to 27 micrometer. Undulating membrane is inconspicuous. Large kinetoplast is terminal and short free flagellum. So this is the life cycle of the trypanosoma. So I would like to tell about briefly about the life cycle of trypanosoma. Pre-patent period is 2 to 3 weeks, and first these testes fly, and that is feeding through blood or lymph, and the domestic livestock and midgut of the CC flies, and this trypanosoma lose their glycoprotein coat, and this coat is the proboscis, Trypanosoma congolens and Trypanosoma the brucei, and this changes into trypomastigote, and this trypomastigote changes into the epimastigote, and this epimastigote changes into trypomastigote, and then it changes into metacyclic trypomastigote that is then inject into the domestic livestock. So that this is the one term that is the canker, and at the site of inoculation the metacyclic form multiply locally and raise the cutaneous inflammatory swelling. That this swelling is called the canker. So difference between the trypanosomogote and epimastigote form of the trypanosoma, that epimastigote, this is the extracellular and non-invasive form of the parasite and found in midgut of if insect multiply by binary fission, juxta nuclear kinetoplast and flagellum arise from it, short undulating membrane. Trypanosomogote true trypanosome type, 20 micrometer long and undulating membrane, elongated or blade-shaped body, found in peripheral blood, and tapering posterior end, short flagellum direct interiorly. And what is the kinetoplast? It is the network of the circular DNA, also called the kDNA, inside the large mitochondrion. So pathogenesis, in case of pathogenesis, it has the following symptoms like the fever, hyperasitemia, severe anemia, hemorrhages on mucosal and serosal surfaces, lymphoid enlargement, splenomegaly, anemia, cardinal feature, and cell degeneration and inflammatory infiltrate. So the clinical signs in case of ruminant, that is anemia, generalized enlargement of superficial lymph nodes, fever, loss of appetite, myocarditis, heart failure. In case of horses, edema of the limbs and genitalia, the species of Trypnosoma brucei. In case of pig, that is the Trypanosoma congruens and pyrexia sign. In case of the dog and cat, fever, anemia, myocarditis, and corneal opacity. Epidemiology, the vector, the parasite, genetic variations, and the host, the trypanotolerance. This is the term used when the parasitemia for long period remained. That is called the trypanotolerance. The small humpless cattle, Bostrarus and Dana, and African indigenous breed of sheep. So diagnosis, you can diagnose by clinical diagnosis and thick smear, Gemsa or Limsha stains, Leishman stains, and the other last one is the PCR. So the treatment is very important, that diaminoxine acetate, and it is commercially available like Berinal, Variban, and 3.5 milligram per kg body weight, and irreversible inhibition of trypanosoma S adenosyls L methionine decarboxylase enzyme involved in synthesis of polyamines. So next one is ammonium salt. It is available in ethidium or novidium, potassium antimony tartrate, and 1 to 1.5 gram intravenously, or 3 to 6 gram per 100 kg intramuscular or subcutaneous. Suramine, arquinoperamine sulfate, and tripacid name, and formally that is called the anthracid, and this is the drug of choice, 1 to 2 milligram per kg body weight, inhibit of enzymes, oxidation of reduced nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide, NADH. Meloxamine dichlorohydrate, MELI, or similorsan. This 20 milligram per ml. It is injected in epiaxial lumbar muscles in the third region or fifth lumbar region. It needs the needle to 23 gauge or 1 inch long needle is needed for this purpose. So the control of CC fly, it is very important in sheep and goat. Isometa medium samarine is the drug of choice. Awareness about the CC flies, effectiveness, and tricked or to the market through an area of endemic trypanosomiasis and chemoprophylactic treatment region. Then is the trypanosomiasis in man. The Trypanosoma brucei human strain. This is the it has the two subspecies, Trypanosoma brucei gambians, East and Central Africa, Trypanosoma brucei rhodesiensis, Western West Africa, both causes the African sleeping sickness. Trypnosoma brucei is not infective to man but causes Nagana disease in cattle, in animals especially. The Stercorarian, in the Stercorarian group, the species Trypnosoma thileri, it is spread, transmit to the tabanid fly, and Trypanosoma malophigium, sheep, cats, Melophagus ovinus, host cattle and sheep, distribution West Europe, and the vector feces. In case of the vector, this feces, the metacyclic trypanosoma enter into the final host through abraded skin or ingestion of the vector, and it is non-pathogenic trypanosomes. The transmission, rubbing, kissing of bug feces, and skin abrasion by biting of bugs. Mechanical transmission, this is the non-cyclic transmission. The disease is called Sauropeta, that is spread due to the Trypanosoma evansi, and vector stability or stomachs, vampires or as a vector or reservoir host the horses and cattle, and occasionally in cattle and buffalo or pigs. Clinical signs: fever, anemia, emaciation, paralysis of hindquarter. South American disease is called mal de codeiros, or disease of hip, like that. It is called due to the Trypanosoma equirium. Although the treatment medium chloride, it is available in market with the name of Viridium. Dose rate is 0.5 milligram per kg body weight, create a direct toxic effect on the trypanosomes. The Trypanosoma equiperdum, this causes the venereal disease in horses and donkeys, and it is also called the durine. And the clinical sign: ventral or abdominal edema, ascending motor nerve paralysis, and progressive emaciation. Okay, thank you so much.